My landlord thought he could bully me out of my apartment just because he wanted to double the rent for the next tenant. He looked me straight in the eyes and told me if I was not gone by Monday, he would throw everything I owned onto the sidewalk. He actually used the words, "You are just a guest in my house." That was his first mistake. You see, my landlord is the kind of guy who thinks rules are for other people. He has owned this building for 20 years and never once pulled a permit for the renovations he bragged about. I knew for a fact he converted the basement into 2 illegal studios last summer. I also knew he had been dodging property taxes by claiming the building was still a single-family home. I did not argue with him that day. I just smiled and started making phone calls. First, I called the city building inspector and mentioned the smell of gas and some questionable wiring in the basement units. Then I called the fire marshal to report the lack of emergency exits in those same units. By Monday morning, I was packed and ready to go. But I was not the only one there. 2 city vans and a fire department SUV were blocked in his driveway. They found over 30 code violations in 2 hours. The illegal basement units were condemned on the spot. Because he had been lying about the building status for 2 decades, the city hit him with a massive bill for back taxes and penalties that added up to over $100,000. He tried to call me screaming about how I ruined his life. I just told him he was right. I am not a guest in his house anymore. Now I am just the guy who made sure he finally played by the rules. It turns out that doubling the rent does not help much when the city decides to take the whole building away. He wanted me out and he got his wish, but it cost him everything he was trying to protect. Be careful who you threaten. You never know who has been keeping notes on your secrets.